Hello.
Yo,
Oh,
hey, how's it going?
all right. How are you?
Pretty good. Having a good day so far. Ready to do this lesson though. All right,
Hell yeah.
let's just do the intro really quick, and then we'll hop right in. So just say like your tag, where you're from, how long you've been playing, and your goals for the game.
Yep. So I'm Enk. I'm a Falco player from Montreal. I'm from Montreal as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I've been playing for like about 8 years. Can't remember what year I started, but I think it's 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And my goal currently is to basically be like PR in Montreal, I guess. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like really close, I think, like in terms
Okay.
of like if I look at the head-to-heads. But it's like I would like to be like middle of the PR and not bottom of the PR if
Yeah, no, like
possible.
I know that zone. Like I was there for a bit too when I was starting to get good. Where like you're like right you're like at the point where like, man, I could like hit up the people who made the PR and like argue for the final spot, but is that really
Yeah.
worth it, you know?
It's like, oh, if this person didn't attend enough, and it's like, yeah, that's not the right way to do this.
No,
So
I
yeah.
definitely know that exact spot to be in. So I feel that.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. And what do you want to go over today?
So, well, I have like the little thoughts thing that I'd be interested to go into, but we don't really necessarily need to do analysis on this. That's just kind of something I'm like wondering about. I think something maybe important to mention is I've taken like a good amount of lessons with Squid before.
Mm-hmm.
We
Okay.
still like do analysis sometimes together and like lessons and stuff. So like
Okay,
I
that's nice.
definitely have,
I
like
like Squid students.
nice. Yeah, no, I've like taken like a really good amount of lessons and like I've
Okay.
gone over pretty much every matchup that's like relevant with
Okay,
them.
that's
So I have
great.
like pretty solid game plans for everything. Um, but yeah, it's like the main thing. I guess I could like summarize for the stream.
Okay,
Like the
that'd be
main
good.
thing is like, and that sounds like very like I feel like that sounds very like every Falco probably says this, but like I feel like I'm losing to like the lame players basically. Like I'm losing to the people that try to not commit to anything and are basically like spamming low commitment options. Um, and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Like you're like stalemate type situations.
yeah, and I find like because I've thought about this a good amount too, and it's like I find that like they put me in positions that I haven't studied because I don't really want to study those positions because I think it's like lame and stuff. And like then I'm like, well, should I just be better at like offense or should I like stalemate with them or like how should I go about this basically is what I'm wondering.
Mm-hmm.
Um yeah, I don't know if I'm making sense right now, but yeah.
Okay.
So that's one thing, and then I have a VOD from like a Falco Ditto with like a basically the Falco that's like right above me in Montreal.
Okay. Um, yeah, so I'm down to talk for a second about the stuff you said in the message where you were talking about the Fox full hop drill in place thing. Here, let me pull up Uncle Punch really quick and I'll stream to you.
Yeah.
Oh, just realized my phone is still in the case from Verdugo yesterday. Yeah, I just kind of want to like take 5 minutes and just like look at the spot you were talking about because I feel like that's like a
Mhm.
pretty common spot for Falco players to have a little bit of issue with, and a lot of times the solution to that one in particular is like pretty easy. Uh,
Oh,
so
that's nice.
it's yeah, so it's more like I'm more about like okay, like after we go over that one, like is it more of like a general thing or is that just like the one
Mhm.
spot? Because if that's just the one spot, it's actually kind of like simple,
Yeah.
and I've helped a lot of Falco players with that spot.
I feel like my whole journey as a player is learning to beat Fox Full Hop in different ways.
Usually, I feel like the key to beating Fox Full Hop is to not interact with it most of the time.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah,
But let's see. So, okay, is the stream working for you?
yeah, I'm seeing.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's say we're in a spot where, um, and then Fox is doing something like this, right? Is that
Yep,
like sort of what you're thinking of, where they're kind of like shielding sometimes and like full hopping and just doing like
yep,
these? Okay,
yeah.
so the key for that is, and this is like a thing for Falco in general, is you want to think of what position. like you want to start with which position you want with the laser, and then you work backwards on how to make that position happen with like the thing they're repeating. And the thing with stalemates is a lot of characters like they get stuck, like everybody gets stuck in stalemates, but I like Falco because even though like what I would say is it's kind of easier to stalemate against Falco than a lot of other characters, but he's better at like breaking stalemates than a lot of other characters also. So he kind of like has to deal with them more often, but he's better at dealing with them than like most characters in the game because of the laser.
Yeah.
So out of a Fox full hop, a lot of times I'm thinking I want something like high laser up tilt, something like that. So like if he's gonna do, like I'll just have him do this over and over. And so he's doing this, and then, oops. So I'm trying to, like, see, like, okay, like, where in this is my, like, window that I want this laser to hit? Do I want it to hit right as he's landing? And the answer to that is no, because if you hit him right as he lands, like, just barely as he lands, and the CPU is doing, like, the instant double jump, or not the CPU, but the replay is doing the instant double jump. But a lot of times the Fox would just, like, do that weird no-impact land that happens. That one, you saw? Like, if you laser them right before they land. So you don't really want that one. So you don't want to, like, try to get them too close to the ground. And, like, if they... A lot of times, like, laser too high up, it's, like, hard to get to him. And so you're like, okay, there's, like, this specific, like, range where I want to hit him with the laser about right there. Where he's coming down... And so you're like, okay, so I want to hit him at this spot where he's just about coming down in a way where, like, I can get this. That's, like, pretty much the goal. Or, like, a potential, like, laser up tilt. That's, and so you want one of those. And so you have to figure out, like, okay, this is the amount of time. Like, Fox goes up, Fox comes down. This is the amount of time it takes him to perform this action. And so you just need to work backwards from the thing you wanted. Of, like, okay, so... Fox, so the thing that lets this all work is that when you shoot this laser, Fox has to react to it and do something, or he's not doing the full hops. Like, if you're shooting these and he's not full hopping, then he's just not full hopping. We don't have to worry about it. And so it's like, okay, we can determine when we shoot the laser that he can only be full hopping in a specific window of time. And so that lets us be like, okay, we know when he's full hopping. And we know the amount of time after the full hop that he is vulnerable to the laser. Right. So we just need to shoot a first laser and then create a position where the second laser is out at that height when he is coming down at that height. And so you can do that by just doing one laser, and then you do dash back, dash in, high laser, and then the shine. And so it'll look like something like... It's hard to do with this, but it looks kind of like... like that. Where you're like, boom, and it's just the same timing every time because his full hop takes the same amount of time every time. Yeah, and so and so this, and you can kind of repeat this for most other ways, like in an abstract form, but you can repeat this in most situations where people are like, oh, like when Falco gets somewhat close to me, I just do this. For example, like Nut does that a lot, where he'll just like. With Sheik, where he'll just boom, and then he'll do like the nair out of shield with Sheik, right? Yeah, and it's like it's the same thing where you're just like, okay, like which laser do I want on Sheik? So you just get a replay of Sheik doing the thing, and you just test out like, ooh, which is like the really juicy laser. Or sometimes against Sheik nair, you can just get like a fair or like a nair or something too. But you want to think of like, okay, so I shoot the first laser and then I dash in and dash away, and then they will do this nair because like they're doing the nair based on your laser timing. You know, it's the same for everything. The player, they have to play around your laser, they have to move at a certain time, and then you just boom and you come in at the exact opposite of the time that they want and hit them. And that's like basically the solution to Fox doing like a repetitive full hop or anyone doing any kind of like repetitive motion against Falco in general.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to get through that really quick because I feel like it's like, oh, I know that one. Like I've helped people with that before.
Yeah, no, that's really good. Because I found that my problem was, like you said, like I tend to just try to avoid it. But then when they're just spamming it, it's like, okay, well, now I'm doing nothing and they're doing nothing and nothing is happening. And that's not how I like to play the game. Like,
no,
it's not very fun.
And I think that I've been thinking actually about that whole thing a little bit in general lately, just because I feel like the meta lately has become more and more defensive. We're in like a very defensive era, within the last couple months, it started really happening. Where I've just noticed that, like, not even like among like the top, they've been pretty like stable in like the direction they're going, which is still slowly campier right now. But like the mid, I don't want to say mid level, like the decent players, like the players who are like pretty good, but not like top players.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sorry, I just blanked out for a second.
That's good.
Yeah, I was saying that those players are getting like a lot more defensive right now, and so like the meta kind of always does this, where like people get better at defending, and then people get better at like getting close to the defender, making them like flinch, and then countering the defense. But right now we're just in like this big defense zone, and so like I've been thinking hard about like, okay, like how do I upgrade my approaches and stuff to like work in like this new meta where everybody's being like extra defensive. So I've definitely like been doing way more. I've been playing a little bit of Fox lately. I've been doing way more like run up, down tilt to like catch people wave dashing back. And I wasn't really doing that as much a couple of years ago because I feel like people weren't just running away quite as hard. So I feel like the issue of like people just trying to make everything really low risk and like repetitive is kind of never going to go away. And it's just kind of going to keep getting like more advanced. And so I think like sort of getting like a general pattern on how to deal with the repetition is good. And and it like with this situation, it works with Falco Laser, but like let's say they're like jumping away on the platforms. That's like another really common way to like kind of stalemate. You sort of have to like just work your way in where you're like, oh, you're doing this stalemate, I do my stalemate, but with like lasers. Then like eventually you move into and this is just true, even just ignoring the lasers for most characters, when people are doing this repetitive stalemate, you kind of want to like be like, oh, you're stalemating, I'll stalemate. And then you're like, okay, you're still going to keep stalemating, right? And of course they are, because that's like their whole strategy, which you've figured out at this point. So then what you do is you start moving closer and closer to positions where there shouldn't really be a stalemate. And essentially you want to create a position where like you're baiting them to end their stalemate. And if they're like, okay, fine, like I'll end the stalemate, then you're like, I baited you. Like I knew I could get you to approach. Clearly like all this stalemating was like not worth it. Is like the mental like message they're getting. And if they just keep doing the stalemate, then eventually you get, for example, like, for Falco, it's an easy example, because eventually you just get a full hop rising shine on Fox full hop. And that's sort of like the idea, but it's never going to go away, and it's never going to be less annoying when people just want to do that, but you just kind of have to, like, work through it, and a lot of times it's strategies that, like, don't, like, work, but they're more just annoying. And it's just one of those things where, like, a lot of times when you teach people that their annoying strategy won't work, they start playing more normal.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, okay, here's your new dumb thing. Fine, I figured out a way around it. Can we move on now? Okay, let me grab the Slippy, I think. The first one is the one you want to go over first?
Yeah, first one's probably better. Okay. More relevant. Second one is more so just like, because ranked I think is like my best indicator of where I am, and like so then it's like helps towards rank, but this is more like local basically.
Okay, I'm just gonna like watch for a second. I'll point out anything that I super see, and then we'll try to like build like a model of what's going on. Actually, do you feel like you have any like thoughts on this before I start, or like do you feel like it went like any certain way that is like kind of notable, or stuff you want me to like look for?
I can't remember exactly with this game. Like, this is a fairly long session.
Okay.
No, I don't really have any specific thoughts.
Okay. All right, I'll check it out. Let's see your regular Falco.
Yeah.
I do think that Falco VODs, or like Falco Ditto VODs, are a little bit difficult to watch for like general improvement. A lot of times I tell like Falco mains to like not worry too much about the Falco Ditto for a while when they're like lower, when they're first like starting out and stuff like that, not like your level, but like just because it's very like specific. Like this matchup is very much like, oh, we do these things against Falco, and then like Like, the Falco Ditto a lot of times feels more particular than, like, Puff or something, even. Like, you just sort of follow these rules against Falco, and they don't really work against other characters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I might
It's
end up kind of
like
going into, like, some Falco Ditto specifics here, if that's okay. Because there's not
it's
really a lot
totally,
else I can say about a Ditto.
no, that's totally okay. Actually, like another reason why I picked this is because I think three of the whole PR of Montreal is like Falcos, maybe four.
Okay, okay,
I don't know
cool.
if I'm counting right. So like Falco Ditto is like a priority right now because of that,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Okay, so I actually want to ask what your game plan is in this matchup, or what is your general thought process? Like, what do you think you're supposed to be doing? Stuff like that.
Basically, I try to get laser control.
Uh huh.
If I get shot, I usually go up to the platform,
Mm-hmm.
or I roll. I generally try to go up more than rolling because rolling is
Mm-hmm.
like more punishable.
Yeah.
So I go up and then I try to get a laser on them, essentially as close as possible, as safely as possible. Like that's where the
Mm-hmm.
mix-ups kind of come in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I try to get a shine. Like usually like 0 to 20 I try to get a shine, or 0 to 15ish I try to get a shine or a grab. Um, and then I start like doing more aerials and stuff.
Okay.
Basically, that's kind of how I go
Okay.
about it.
Cool. Just making sure you had kind of like the
Yeah,
standard
yeah,
thing kind of in there, so I can talk about it. This is why I like Squid students. Because you already have all that, and I'm like, okay, cool. We can just talk about like how maybe you're not executing that or something.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, yeah, so, and this is like, I don't know. You obviously understand this, but I'm just gonna like sometimes repeat things that might
Mhm.
seem obvious just because I'm just gonna mention them as I go through.
Yep.
But as the second this laser hits you, you should be going to the platform every time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like literally every time. The side plat is one of the strongest elements in this matchup because you get the ability to drop through laser and you get all of your short hop mix-ups and they
Yep.
can't hit you with any lasers. So like it's more like I would say your neutral, especially on a small stage like Yoshi's, like especially on Yoshi's, your neutral will actually revolve more around this side platform than anything else.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I think like you end up getting like cornered here in like a pretty awkward way. But
Yeah, I got kind of stuck, I think.
this is it's a weird one because it's Yoshi's. I'm not gonna worry about this one too much unless it comes up again. Whoa, that up smash
That's
was
crazy.
nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, good up tilt. Ooh, that was interesting. Okay, ooh. So one thing about this matchup in general with the combos is I think a lot of Falcos make the mistake of comboing Falco like Fox,
Mm.
and that's not good. So the thing with Fox is when he's close to the stage, he's really hard to edge guard, and then as soon as he gets a little further from the stage, he's like really really easy to edge guard. And so with Fox, you kind of just like you can gimp him, but like it's like not you're not expecting it out of every combo to like gimp Fox. Most of the time, you're like,
Yeah.
I'll combo him to like 90. If I get a down air or something, that's great. But otherwise, I'll back air him off. With Falco, the combos don't work like that. If Falco gets to a high percent, he will live to 140 like every stock, and he
Yeah.
becomes really, really, really tough to edge guard. And so when you hit Falco, you want to think of your Falco combos as like very like cutthroat, almost like a Marth comboing Falco, where like the Marth doesn't want to do like a long drawn out combo. You want to do like hit forward smash read or like hit nair down air setup, like very consistently. You want very short, snappy, like Falco's dead combos. And they'll either involve like reading a DI out very early at like 40-50 or reading a DI in and then getting like a nair down air and then killing out
Yeah.
of like an early down air. And like so pretty much every time you want to like every time you get a shine, you should be thinking of like a 2 to 3 hit setup that will like hit Falco off stage or set up for like these early down airs.
I see.
Because as soon as he gets to like I would say like at this percent that you're at, you're very difficult to kill because like a lot of times like DI away on shine doesn't follow up and stuff like that. Whereas like at 50, DI away on shine gets a free down air. So like let's see, for example, Yeah, okay, so for example, right here, I think like and maybe it's a little sus in this exact position, but because they don't have a double jump here, I might even just forward smash this.
Mm.
Because
Yeah,
you're like, well,
yeah.
he doesn't have a double jump, well, I can just kind of like hit him off. And it's not perfectly ideal. Maybe something more like if you read the hard DI away, the F smash would probably kill here. And
Yeah.
if you read survival DI, you could maybe hit like a approaching nair, like a dash back, dash in
Mm.
nair or back air into something. But you always want to be thinking of that rather than like with Fox, it's very much like, oh, I'll just shine him. Like, I'll deal with it after the shine. And Falco's not
Yeah.
like that because, like, of this, like, you just need, because of this, how difficult it is to edge guard him at higher percents. You just want to, like, set up for the kill mad fast. And I think Ginger is actually, like, the poster child doing that. Like, he's really good at, like, making sure that, like, his combos in the Ditto are, like, setups for a kill in particular.
Yeah. Squid's also very good at it, I think.
Who is?
Squid.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So let me see. What was I gonna say here? Yeah, because when you come back and they're at 80 and you're at 0, they low key have like a better combo game on you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so it's like that's what you want to you got to avoid. Falco Ritus or whatever definitely exists in this matchup. Because what happens, and this is a really consistent thing you got to watch out for, is that when they get to this high percent, it feel like when you're at 0 and they're at 80, it feels like, I don't know what the word is, not like, it feels inefficient to like laser war almost, you're like,
Yeah.
man, they're at high percent, like I'm not gonna deal with this laser war, and then suddenly your neutral is like way worse because it feels like I have to do all this work. They're already at 80, I'm at 0. I don't want to like get hit randomly out of like losing like like you don't want to be like taking damage from lasers and be at 10%. Like that type of stuff just happens a lot, and you got to be really aware of it. Is that like when they're at high percent, and like that was good, you played it with lasers, but then it kind of like you almost have them, and then it starts to be like the like, no, I just need to like hit them show.
Yeah.
And like that, and that's just like really easy to fall into because of like the percent thing. It's like, oh yeah, I just need one little hit, and then it's like, man, it's kind of hard to edge guard them. That's crazy. And like, yeah, this is just the thing. And so like, if you're the Falco who lives to 140, you're just loving this matchup because look how hard it is to edge guard. Like it's crazy. Like you think a forward throw it. Like if you did this to Fox at this percent, he'd be so dead. He'd be dead. But against Falco, it's just his side B is so quick. The up B is like hard to edge guard. And, like, if you come back in, like, a spot like this feels better than if he was at, like, 80 at 3 stocks.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, it's just coming back nice and fresh. Like, just gonna, like, laser him a couple times and get a 0 death. And, yeah, like, out of that, it feels like, ooh, like, the world is my oyster out of that shine. Okay. There's something with the side, like the side platform just feels like it's not being like utilized. I don't really. I feel like I haven't seen like short hop off side plat. Like you've been dropping off it, but not like short hopping off of it. Like you did it off the top plat there, but like those same mix-ups with that, like that you're doing off the top plat with short hop, are like way stronger off of the side plat.
The side plat, okay.
Like really strong. Like short hop off the side plat is like 40% of this matchup on the stage. And okay, so yeah, these are spots where it's like I would not challenge this. A lot of times what I say is, so when you're directly below Falco in the jump, like he reads you with the jump here, you don't really have like a recourse. I would just like roll and like reset. Like I'm not gonna try to play out this position. He has like a big advantage because he's right above me. And then what happens is like, let's say like right here. So I don't know. I don't want to make like an anime reference, so but I'll just say that like when Falco basically comes up, like when he does his full hop, there's like a secret way to beat his full hop, which is to full hop after his full hop, so that you're the one full hopping.
Oh, okay. And then you end up above him, I guess.
Yeah, because like he full hops, and then he's like just starting to come down on you, and he wants to play his mix up coming down on you. but then you just full hop on his way down. And so now, like, his choices are he can double jump and try to get above you again, in which case you're like, well, you're just dumb because, like, you use your double jump and I still have mine. Or he falls, and now you are the one with, like, the landing mix-up. And depending on the positions, you might get a pressure, or they might just be like, oh, I got out of your way. Or maybe they get to the ground, and then, like, they full hop. And it's kind of just, like, depending on, like, exactly where you end up with, like, the drift and stuff. And that's why I was saying, like, when you're here, and if you went to the left here, then this would be perfect. You full hop like right here or something. But like because you go to the right and he goes to the right, I don't want to deal with this. I'm just going to leave. And like basically the number of choices that you make that aren't in the game plan directly correlate in this matchup to you like winning or losing. So like
I see, okay.
So like when you're doing like these down airs and like you're getting hit by that, and you're doing this back air, and you're kind of like lasering his full hop. Whereas like when he goes vertical, like your laser senses shouldn't super engage. I think it was a little bit of a tricky spot because he did like a short hop double jump. I'm not gonna blame you for this laser, but I think when this happens, like this is definitely like a shield this and then like full hop. Like you gotta like either full hop or go to the side plat or something. It just needs. Literally that's why I say it's the same thing as fighting like Puff. Where it's like anything you do that's in the game plan will work. And anything you do that's outside of the game plan is usually bad.
Okay.
And it's because it's taking time away that you could be spending over here getting a laser advantage and then playing a pressure. And you want to make sure that like the familiar situations that you think about happening in this matchup when you like theory craft it happen as much as possible. A lot of times people talk about that whole, like, the worst Falco player wins the Ditto type of thing. That's because they're not playing the standard spots. Like, if they played the standard spots, and that's why I was so consistent in the Ditto for the most part when I was practicing a lot, is that, like, you want the standard situations that you've practiced to repeat because you know you're better at those. But you don't know if you're better at full hop falling onto the side plat and they try to up tilt and maybe you trade out of it and then you both tech in place at the same time and then you both try to hit each other. Like, who knows who's better at that? I don't know. But when that happens, I'm going to set up my lasers and I know that they're not going to be as good at the lasers as I am. So a lot of times, like, especially like full hop and doing the lasers here, land on the side plat, I feel like as soon as I'm on the side plat, I have control in this matchup.
Yeah.
And the never roll in out of corner no matter what rule is in effect. Like, you could just sit here and just literally hold shield for the next 4 seconds and it'd be better than rolling.
Okay.
Just because
never roll in the Ditto or just in general?
In the Ditto in particular. Yeah. In the Ditto in particular, and it's because he doesn't have a strong grab option here.
Oh, I see, yes.
So like he wants you to roll so that you're not in shield. Falco is less likely to like see your shield here and be like, boom, I grabbed you. You know, like they want you to like roll or like they want you to flinch. A lot of times Falcos will like shoot this pressure and then they'll like dash away back air or something to like catch you doing something. Like most of the time they're just looking for this roll though. Like every Falco in the world is just looking for this roll, and it's just like a check of like can you resist the urge to roll here. And I would say that like it's just not so obvious in every matchup, but in this matchup it's like basically Falco wants to pressure your shield. In order to pressure your shield, Falco needs to do a short hop aerial and not an early one. They need to do a late one. And the problem with the late one is that if you roll and they do the late aerial, then they're stuck in the corner and you just cornered them.
Yeah.
So they don't want to get reversaled by that. And, like, they're like, well, if they roll, I get this big pay. Like, they know you want to roll, so they don't want to let your roll that, like, they don't want to let, like, your coward option of the roll give you this big advantage. So most of the time, they just stand here and, like, pressure, and that's kind of what you should be doing most of the time, too, when they're in the corner like that, is just waiting for the roll. until they like really demonstrate that like, no, I am part of like the esteemed order of the never roll club, you know, like, and then as soon as they're like, no, I'll never ever roll, then you're like, okay, we'll play some like mix-ups. Fine.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was just like good by them. One second. I need to turn on my fan. 2 seconds. Okay. So yeah, all these situations just like aren't in the book.
Yep.
And so like you can think hard about like, okay, like, oh, like right here you're like, okay, and this is actually a really common spot with Fox, but it does happen with Falco. If you're ever gonna do this position, especially at high percent, but honestly it's at every percent, this is always a nair. You should always nair here against every character. It just has way better shield pressure data. And if they're trying to react well against down air from this position, they're not going to be able to like deal with the nair. So like you just drop, and the problem with back air here is that the low part misses and like the high part hits. So the back air basically just hits wrong. And they like it hits too early is what I should say, and they get a chance to get you. And so you just want to drop through, and then you just do like a fast fall nair, and it's so free. Way better pressure than the down air in that position.
Ah.
Oh look, it's edge guarding Falco as Falco. The thing you
At
never
80
ever
again.
want to do. The other thing is when you do have to edge guard Falco, you don't want to think of it as an option coverage. That's like the biggest mistake people make. It's not Fox. It is a mix. So you hit Falco off, and you threaten one thing, and then you read a thing. And that's it.
Okay.
And the thing you threaten can be the thing you read, too, if you're trying to, like, double mix them. Usually it's not. Usually I threaten I'm going to cover one thing, and then just hard punish the other. And you just want to make sure that if you're right, you kill them. But every recovery is just a mix. There is no option coverage. A lot of times don't even bother shooting the lasers. Like, I do shoot the lasers, but I don't shoot it like Fox. Where like, I'm ruining your recovery with these lasers. I shoot the laser of like, I shot the laser once and then I down aired and you side beat into it or something like that. Or I shot the laser once and then I nared and you side beat into it. Or I shot the laser once and then I short hopped off, and then if you side beat over me, I double jump side B, and if you and if I get under you and you up B, then I down air or something like that. Like there's like ways to do it, and it's all mixes. The more you try to like control his recovery, the worse your edge guard against him will get. There's a little bit of an exception on FD because he doesn't have the platforms, and you can like ledge dash shine and stuff like that. A little bit, but in general, I would say treat it like a mix up every time. Okay. Yeah, like that's low-key a better Falco edge guard. Like just like choice, and then like was the choice correct? And then if it was, you're like yay. And so because of that, most of the time that's why and so because of that, a lot of times why you would rather just play that mix at 50, because if you're right, he dies at 50, and if he gets back, maybe you get it again. Whereas once you're doing it at like 140, you're like just die already.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, I can grab the second game.
Mm-hmm.
What a tragic ending.
That's a very tragic ending.
I lost to Axe like that at that one Ludwig event. Pain. And everybody else is like, nah, my character's hard too.
I also have another one of like the bottom PR people, I guess, is a Peach main, if you'd like to look at that.
Okay.
We could do either.
What is this VOD I'm looking at right now?
This is just ranked.
This is what's up?
This is ranked against like a Plat 1 Fox that beat
against
me.
Fox. Okay,
I tend to like use the stuff that tilts me the most for lesson, because that usually is like where like my bad habits are rooted.
No, that's a good
like
way
what
to do
tilts
it.
me. So yeah.
Okay, so then probably this one, right? If like Fox has been annoying you more than Peach, or
No, Peach annoys me more for sure.
Oh, Peach annoys you more. Okay, we can go over that if you want.
Okay. Yeah, let's do Peach. Let's do Peach actually. I'm thinking. Is there a stage that would be preferable?
Not FD.
Not FD. Okay. I have Battlefield. Let's just make sure.
I will be honest, I don't like Falco Peach that much, even though it's very like winning, just because it's very slow. It's very
Yeah.
slow. You have to think of yourself as um, like you're like a fast, quick guy, and you're like going around like doing like a tiny bit of damage, and then if they hit you once, they just kill you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
how
like
it
a
feels.
very like defensive, campy, slow, grindy matchup, and it's not very fun for me.
Wait a minute.
But I do think that Falco absolutely obliterates Peach. It's just
Maybe.
kind of like, really, like again.
Yeah, that's how it feels. I did work on it a bit with Squid yesterday too. Wait, let me think. Okay, I think I win this game, but there's usually bad stuff in the games that I win as well. Actually, not usually, always. Okay. Yeah, I just sent it to you.
Okay,
It'll
cool.
be interesting too to have like both Squid and your perspective on it.
Okay, sounds good.
Because like there is one Fox in the whole PR, so but
Okay.
like on ranked it's
Yeah,
like
you
half
want
of
to
the
make it
people
more
I play.
functional.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. You know, one time a guy did a lesson with me where he had Squid, he like play in the lesson instead of him as like a content thing, and
What
I
the
was
fuck?
just like tearing Squid apart, like analysis wise. I'm like, dude, what was this? What are you even thinking here? And Squid's
Squid
like,
definitely loves trolling in games too, so that's funny. Especially if Squid knew that it was you were analyzing, like he probably did some stuff on purpose as well.
yeah, it's true. It was a
Or
fun
maybe he just
time.
has bad habits as well. But yeah, no, that's fun.
Yeah, okay, so this is the horrible truth of the Peach matchup. Are you ready? And this is the
Oh
sad
no.
part is this is true for every character against Peach. The only thing that matters is damage.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
know that hurts to hear, but like the goal against Peach is to get her to a high percent and then kill her. It's like I know it hurts to hear. uh, so every laser actually counts. And so as long as you're landing lasers and they're not hitting you, you're doing a good job.
Okay.
And so like right here, when you landing these, I think this one's fine and you should definitely retreat.
Yeah, back away there. Yeah.
And like when once your down air knocks her out of float, you can cook. There's things that can be done in this matchup, but the damage at low percent is just it. So like if your set against Peach starts out, if every game against Peach starts out with 15 lasers and platform movements and full hops, and then like she's chasing you and you land one back air and now she's at like 45 or something, then that is like wow, like they're really playing this one.
Yeah.
Like that's like peak melee, and it's unfortunate, but it's not your fault. It's
Mm.
Peach's fault, and that's
Yeah, yeah,
important to keep in mind. Is that like you didn't choose this? They chose this by picking the character that's dependent on
yeah.
damage but is slow, because
Yeah.
they're just hoping. Every Peach is just hoping that you won't play it right. That's just the
Mm.
truth. Every Peach is like,
Yeah.
man, like if I just kind of like run forward, shield, wave dash back enough times, and then like float sometimes, like, and I just really just make it like last a long time. Eventually, the Falco player is gonna want to like go hang out with their friends. I'm like, I'll get them, like literally, like that's the whole plan as Peach. It's just like,
Mm.
no, I'll just big drag it out. And so like you need to be prepared, and you need to come in with the opposite mentality that like you play the character that can't catch my character.
Mm. Okay.
And the thing is, you can break this, and like I think Magi does a really good job, and Mango also of like actually aggressing Peach. But the problem is that if you don't make the super campy style your basis as the like I can do this whenever I want, then like you won't you won't be able to rely on it in the moment where it matters most, where
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah,
fine, game 5 Dreamland, see me at the 2 minute mark. And like if you're not ready for that, you'll just lose. And so
yeah.
you need to be
Okay.
ready for that. At like it's kind of like against Puff. You got to be ready at any moment to play like a really long game. And so I prefer to um, just take the control of the match and I'm just gonna be the one who camps you with the lasers. And
Right.
so this is another matchup. This is probably the only matchup in the game where the short hop or the side platform is more important than the Falco Ditto.
Yeah.
The side platform is everything in this matchup. And the reason is, if she is below this platform and she tries to jump nair you and you down air, the down air beats the nair like every time. Like short hop down air on the side plat.
Yeah.
She can't jump into it. She can land a full hop up air, which lets Lod's only counter to this. Is sometimes he'll go for full hop up air and try to catch you with like a trade on the down air. But as long as you mix up your positions a little bit on the platform, they can't really get away with that. And so because they also don't want to go below you in this range, because if they kind of sit here, you can just run off and aerial them really easily, or do various like pressures right here. They don't want this. And so they don't want to get right under you and try to go up. And they also don't want to just stand right here because you can like run off and hit them. And so almost always what they do is they jump up here and they float right here. And you just do a short hop laser and then jump and down air them. And the short hop laser hits them out of their float. They have no options. And then once you hit them with the down air, the cool part is a lot of times it doesn't knock down, but you get like down air up tilt or down air shine out of their float here.
Okay.
And that's just like a position you'll get like a lot. You can either get a nair or a down air there. But you want to avoid being ground, like if you can. And so that's the thing is sometimes Peach can force you into a mix-up, and when she does, I would say the situations feel somewhat even when she can force you to fight. But you don't really want to be here at all. Like I wouldn't want to play this. If she's here, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
Because a lot of times the goal is you shoot her with like the low. I'm sure Squid has gone over this. You low laser her and then you immediately high laser.
High laser, yeah.
And if she takes laser and tries to full hop, she gets hit. That's when when you hit that and she's stuck in the air. That's when you can approach. I would say that's like a decent general rule is to not approach Peach unless you have already stuck her in the air. Okay. She doesn't want to stay on the ground because you can just jump and laser, and she has a really hard time. She wants to float above the laser height to play neutral. That's kind of what she has to do. And so if you're like, every time you do get the float above laser height, I leave. And then now that you're back on the ground again, I'm going to keep you on the ground with these high lasers.
Right.
And like, so you just don't want to like let her play this. Like when I'm the Peach and I'm here, I'm like, it's over. Like I've got him. I'm gonna like forward air, and then they're gonna miss and they're gonna dash away. Yeah. No, I would have fared here, landed, and immediately dash attacked. That's what I would have done as Peach here. And so you just want to avoid that mix at all because you could have gotten hit. And then once you get to the side plat right here, just short hop laser. Short hop laser right here, and you can hit them out of this, and then immediately after you hit them here, they have to drop to the ground, and you get drop laser, approaching laser, dash back again for free, with no recourse on their end.
Okay.
And like, yeah, even this, like, I hate to say this, I just feel like such a lame-o saying this, but like, you shouldn't be fighting here. At all. Yeah. Like, they're just hoping you want to fight them instead of shooting more lasers. So unfortunate. And so yeah, all of this is great, but like, look at the amount of damage. Like, think about what you're gonna do to kill her, especially on Dreamland. Like, how are you going to kill Peach here? You know? Yeah. And it's like you're gonna kill her with like probably like a back air or an up smash at like 160.
Yeah.
And so like you have a ways to go. It's not really time to like hit her yet. I think, like, the range from maybe, like, 40 to 100, a lot of times you can kind of combo her through. Like, maybe even 30 to 100. But, like, at this percent, if you land, like a down air or something, yeah, like, you're knocking her down. Like, you saw he almost got, like, the tech chase. Like, if you had, like, down air tech chase that, like, you can do some real damage there. But at those low percents, they're just basically, like, trolling. Like, it's just something that I've dealt with so many times that I'm kind of just over it by now. I'm just like, no, I'm not going to play your dumb little game where you like want me to approach. That's another rule. You can probably approach when she has the turnip. It's bad for Peaches to get stuck in turnip between stocks like this.
Oh, I see.
Squid is actually so evil at abusing that if you get caught in the turnip. And I think Squid plays this matchup very similar. Every time I used to play him, he would just play me for the timeout. I'd be like, man, you're trying to time out my poor Peach on Yoshi's, and he's like, not my fault. And I was like, oh, he's right. See, like this doesn't kill. This doesn't kill either. Like one thing is interesting is that Peach is one of the characters. So all of the characters that Falco can't really legit kill off edge guarding, and a lot of times you end up like any character you kill with a back air at high percent, like for example like Dr. Mario or like Peach or Jigglypuff. There's just this thing you can do where you face your back towards them and jump at them like this. Like right here. It seems counterintuitive, but you want a down air here.
Okay.
And the reason is that it pops them way up, and then when you back air them, they can't survival DI, and they die.
Oh, okay.
And it works against Doc and Puff and Peach and stuff really well. And it's just because they're always going to survival DI, because from Peach's perspective here, she can't die if she survival DIs this. She's just like, there is nothing, like if I hold up, there's nothing Falco can do here to kill me. Shine back air doesn't kill, back air doesn't kill, up air doesn't kill, nothing kills. And then you hit her with the down air, and she's survival DIing, so she pops up, and then the back air is a guaranteed kill.
Yeah.
And that's just something that'll come up a decent amount against like characters in general who like want to avoid dying to Falco. Oof.
Which is all the characters.
Characters that are just trying to like survival DI as long as possible. That's what I mean.
That makes sense.
If it's a character when they survival DI and you're like boom and then you down air them, like you know, like if like Falcon or Spaceys or something like that, then that's different. See, this is why. See, this is why I don't give them the courtesy of playing mix-ups at like 20 damage because I know I'm gonna have to get them here.
Right. That makes sense.
It's just upsetting. That's why I stopped playing as much Falco in this matchup. Just because I feel like every Peach, no matter really like what skill level, requires this type of play in like some degree where you're just trying to play for the damage. Yep, this is correct. No. Short hop laser this first. If you short hop laser that first, it's beautiful. She has no float and she's just stuck.
Okay.
The other thing, whenever you're in a position like this against Peach, that wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect frame-wise. Basically, what I was going to mention is that instead of shielding, and right here I do think the shield was probably the right option, but as a general thing, I just kind of want to mention that like when Peach is coming down on you, it's kind of like Puff, where you just kind of choose a direction and short hop back air, like retreating short hop back air, or like get out of the way. Because Falco's like short hop back air, a lot of times you'll move quicker than Peach will like get to you, and so it's just like a very safe option. A lot of times when you feel stuck, right here you didn't really have enough frames. I think it was fine to do what you did. No, short hop. Short hop laser right there. This will just come up over and over because they need that float height to fight you, because that's the float height that's above laser height, and that's why it's so unfair. Because you're like, well, if you float above laser height, I have this laser that takes you down again. And now you're on the ground, and I can keep you on the ground. And it's like, really? Yeah, like right here, I won't... If Peach literally gets to this position, I am either going to the top plat here, and I'm going to play a mix-up coming down here, or I'm literally on my way to the opposite side platform.
Okay.
Because, and if she was at high percent where I could maybe do something, then sure, but she's at like 40. Nothing does anything. You can't kill her. And honestly, even with other characters, like this, it's like the same. Like it's the same with Fox too. Even though Fox kills her like way earlier, what is Fox gonna do to Peach at 40? You know, you can get a combo, but you're not gonna be able to kill her. And so like if the position, like if she's in a position where you don't have a combo, like what's your combo here that you're looking for? It's like it's kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like if there's not something that's like juicy and you don't have like laser control and stuff, just don't bother.
Yeah, just get more lasers.
Yeah, and it's like you get the laser damage, and it's like the laser damage isn't really, you know, what it's all about, but you will get a good amount of laser damage. It's mostly just getting the laser control. And you're like, all right, Peach, what are you gonna do? I'm just gonna run away for like 3 minutes. What I should say is that a lot of times in this matchup, Peach should hit you maybe once a minute. Like I'm not even joking. That's like my most success in this matchup is just. Not like right here. This is how they get you. They're like, well, look at me. I'm in like a disadvantageous position. Like, maybe you should like go for a full hop nair mix up. It's kind of your only way to really hit me here. And they're just waiting. They just want you to play the game. You don't have to. It's awkward. I'm leaving. And you can. The thing is you can sit here and like. But what you want here is basically, okay, what I would say from this position is if you decided not to, like, leave directly, and I would say her percent is high enough that I probably wouldn't want to just directly leave, but I want to make it clear that, like, leaving is always fine because Falco wins the matchup so hard. You don't, like, Falco has auto advantage state by going to side platform.
Yeah.
So, like, this being in, like, an advantage state or whatever doesn't really matter that much. But what I was going to say is that right here, you can do a thing where you do a dash away, backflip laser, and you go for laser jab, or laser jab up smash, or laser jab back air.
Yeah.
But you want to make sure you're totally safe. Do not play a mix. If there's any form of mix here, just leave. Falco doesn't need to mix with Peach from advantage state. If she has you in disadvantage, you'll have to mix. But like if it's in neutral or you have advantage, you get control. You can decide when you play. Just look at her. She's like attack, attack, like she just threw out like 6 hitboxes or something. Like none of them are hitting you. Like none of them are like relevant. She just wants you to run into these, and there's just no reason to do it when like, and then you get this, and then you get this. Like if you just avoid all of these, and then you're like laser approaching laser jab. And it's like you had a chance to like kill her there, you know what I mean? And so it's like, yeah, this is what I like to see. Is Peach floating, and you're like, oh man, you reached a good float height. Anyway,
go to the side, yeah.
One thing here though is that you can use the side platform. You're not limited to drop through laser or short hop laser. You can just short hop right here. You just don't want to full send it. But you can just short hop right here and then shoot a laser right at this height and then immediately approaching laser. And you can set up some stuff.
Yeah.
No, get out of there. No. She wants you to play the game. That's all she wants. She's just like, oh yeah, Falco's fighting me. It's time to spam move. Like, Peach is just going to do the same stuff she's been doing, which is throw out moves because you're there. Like, she's just chucking out moves. Like, look.
Like that.
Yeah, no, like, that wasn't, like, an intentional move that, like, oh, I got him. It was just, like, moves. That one hits Falco, and then, like, edge guard. Good Peach player. And I love Peach as a character, but, like, this is one of those matchups where it's like, man, like, all of her, like, annoying elements get kind of maximized.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just it just disgusts me. They're just sitting here like, play the game. Come on, I'm right here. I bet it looks fun, doesn't it? You bet a little dopamine deficit, and then they're like, boo! You played the game, you idiot! Boo! And they just literally float at you, trying to like throw out moves again. This is just Peach, like, and then they're like, oh, ow, that hurt. And like, so this is what you want. You want this exact type of combo, but out of her chasing you, you know? And so like, this would happen like right here. Imagine that she's doing this approach after 37 lasers or something like that, and you just hit her with this, and then you're like, oh, boom, now you're getting comboed. And then after you hit her with this, instead of continuing to go in, you just... I mean, I think this down air was actually good. But in general, instead of continuing to go in, you just go back to the camp like this. Yeah, those down airs on the plat are good. you looking like you tried to play right there for a second. Look what happened. Boom, you got like 12%. Yeah. And Peach is like, moves. Like she's just chucking them out. That's why this character is gross sometimes. Like the moves are just gonna keep coming, you know? And it's like it's just your job never to get hit by the moves ever, and then you win the game. Because they're just gonna keep chucking them out.
I feel so validated in my frustrations right now. This is great.
Well, because look at this. It's 122, and you're like, Nair! And they just, okay. Like, sure. Like, and it's good you got them out of a float, but they're just always living. So, like, the shine at 60 or whatever, it just doesn't... Like, if you land this on Captain Falcon or Fox or something, it's just... You could have your wildest dreams come true.
Yeah.
But against Peach, there's nothing. Nothing. And she's just gonna, like, try to reversal you out of it. And so it's like, okay, fine, I'll go back to lasering over and over, and then I'll hit you, and I'll have my actual good advantage state. And then, like, yeah, once you get these, like, this is good. I actually think you could have probably gotten away with another down air here. Like, down
air?
Yeah. Or even, like, a tech chase. But also, this was totally fine. I would, if the best Falco in the world did this back air, I wouldn't criticize him for it. It's, like, fine. I was just mentioning a thought.
Yep.
This is also, it hasn't really come up a lot here, but, like, against Peach, when Peach is in a position that's not centralized, like this, the goal is to make her go to ledge.
Yeah.
And you don't want to let her get past you, you just want to force her to ledge. So I think, like, when, because here's what'll happen, is she'll go here. You don't want to go up here, even though you feel like it'll force her to ledge, maybe. You don't want to go up. You want to stand right here, because, what's the best way I should say it? Is like, sorry, I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. Basically, the stage is the appealing one. She doesn't really want to try to get to the plat because you can, like, full hop aerial her.
Yep.
And the ledge doesn't want too much either, but she wants to get here, and so a lot of times I will, like, defend this stage harder, and I'll force her to go, like, high, and then I'll just, like, come back over here and be like, now I'm just playing the centralized game again. I'll move back a step if she goes high or whatever. But yeah, all she wants is you to be fighting here. Thrown out. She's not in danger of dying. You have to keep that in mind. Like, at these high percents, she's in no danger of death here. And then a lot of times at higher percents, I really like up smash in this matchup. And it doesn't work quite as well in Dreamland, but in general, most stages, you can get Peach to around 130, and the up smash is just guaranteed kills, and so I'll go for a lot of, like, laser jab up smash, or I'll just up smash her out of, like, jab up smash, laser up smash, those things. And I make sure they're guaranteed when they hit, but it is like you can just kill it. Like, you don't need to back air her past like 130, 140.
Down tilt, I guess, as well sometimes. Or is it scary because of down smash?
The down tilt, it doesn't, like, real combo.
Okay. Yeah, there's no, like, jab down tilt or something.
Yeah, like, no, exactly. The up smash is just great because it's quick, so you get, like, real combos out of it, and it still kills. I think the down tilt is kind of like your secret weapon in this matchup, where, like, Peach is really used to living for a long time, and then you just catch her on one, like, wave dash back, and you get, like, the perfect laser down tilt at, like, 80 or like, not 80, but, like, 100 or something, and she just dies, and that's like, ooh, you can get those, but, like, the down tilts are what happens while I'm looking for the up smashes. Like, every now and then a down tilt will happen, but, like, I was in the process of looking for the up smashes during that.
Yeah.
See, no, they just, sorry. They just want you to fight you so bad, and right here it's like, nah, I'm just gonna, like, laser a bunch. Look at the Peach gameplay here. Like, just look. Just watch the Peach. Watch. Fair, back air, nair, float nair, back air, down smash, back air, back air. Oh, that one hit! Boom! And it's just like, yeah, like, just don't let those hit ever.
Yeah, okay.
And it feels repetitive and boring and stuff, but, like, it's either play the repetitive game where you win or try to have fun and lose.
Yeah.
And once you have all of this established, like I said, once you have the camping established and you hit this, the Peach is just like, they're camping me and sometimes they get combos.
Yeah.
And it just feels awful, whereas, like, if you're just trying to combo them, then, like, they're like, haha.
Yeah. I went over the edge guarding stuff a lot with Squid yesterday. We don't really have to get into it. Okay. I know I kept, like, jumping into those. And, like, I wasn't really looking at a resource and stuff.
One thing to just keep in mind is when you're getting down aired like this, she it's difficult for her to get the true combo out of it. So like, look at you actually. So I'm kind of greedy here, and I spam back air. But you could.
Yeah.
But if she's drifting into you, you can also spam shine. Because look at this. Watch.
Well.
So there's this window where it's like if she doesn't do the aerial perfectly, or let's say that last hit like misses, like I think that one might have actually been a true combo, but you should always be going for either shine or back air in those spots.
Okay.
Like just try to, or like nair or something. Just try to hit her out of it. It makes them very like, oh, I have to hit the perfect thing.
I think I tend to go for nair. Like I think I might have been mashing nair there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention it because I felt like that spot might have been a true combo. And so, okay, my thought process in this position. Peach is at 120. I just need to laser her to 140 and get a jab up smash. That's literally like what I'm thinking here. It's like, oh, just get some lasers. Because, like, what are you going to do otherwise? Are you going to back air her, and then when she goes off stage, you're going to laser her, and then she'll recover to the ledge, and then you get a jab up smash at 140? You know, like even if you try to hit her and you do anything else, you know, like, a lot of times. And that's the thing, I want to emphasize that, like, you will get earlier kills. You will get down airs on Peach. You know? And you will get the gimps and stuff, but, like, all that stuff is the bonus, and if you don't have this as the basis, they will abuse you wanting to go for the bonuses.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. Yeah.
And yeah, they abuse this too here. Every time you approaching laser at down tilt kill percent, they will always hold down and shield. That's just what they do. And that's why a lot of times in this position, you want to just space for like jab or like back air. You want to just work, like if you're going to get a pressure here, just work down their shield. Do the West ball where you just like jab, dash back laser, jab, dash back laser, jab, dash back laser. It's frustrating. And this is why in this position you need to get more damage before you go for it, because the up smash won't kill yet. And if you got this, you jab up smashed at 145 or whatever, she's just dead here. And that's why it's so important. Because then she's just like, wait a minute.
I got it. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Like, boom, boom. My one combo. And yeah, they want these mix-ups so badly. Like, look at this. Float above a laser. This is what they do all the time. Jump above the laser. Float. Go in and press buttons. This is the Peach. Jump above laser. Float. Attack. Press button. And this is that thing with like the down air where it makes it harder for them to survive with the eye. But she did survive there. And it is annoying. But like, remember right here, just think like, it'd be easier to kill her at 200. Like, you just have to big chill. Like, it's just dumb. Because look, the second you really try to make something happen, it's just what she's waiting for. Her big comeback moment does not happen here because you're playing safe. It happens because you want to kill her. She's relying here on, like, Falco really wants this kill. Time to go for my big reversal attack. Okay, she's dead. Yeah. Okay.
You lich dash.
And let's see, we're definitely at an hour now.
Yeah.
Only a couple minutes over, actually, so we're good. That was a funny one. That was fun doing, because I've just been kind of annoyed against Peach even as Fox lately, because that's all they do, and I've just been like laser camping them as Fox like the last couple days and feeling so good about it. I'm like, hey, this is how I used to do it as Falco, like. But I don't like that they can force me to play this game with them, but like, notice that in this game you weren't particularly disciplined about the camping.
No, definitely not.
And look at the clock.
Yeah.
Like, that's just her. And so like when you come in, when I
amount of damage too.
What's up?
Like I got like 700 damage. Yeah, I got 692 damage. I think in this one, something crazy like that.
So, I would say, especially on Dreamland, it's a little bit different on something like Fountain. On Fountain, there are more positions where like you would have to play like on Fountain. It's a lot less about abusing the side plat and more about abusing the top plat, as you can probably imagine. But the same like concepts apply. But like I would say that in general on Dreamland, you should be playing as if the game will time out against Peach. And on the big stages in general, because they're just looking to catch you. Like they're just looking like they want to kill you. Like they're just out there like, oh, they're gonna have fun and like, I'll be waiting. And you just got to be really ready for that. And you just get the Peach out of the way, and it takes a long time, but you do it, and then you move on to the matchups where you can like really play. But this is just one of those ones where it's like, if you play the annoying way, it's 70-30 or worse. It's like unwinnable for Peach. And if you play like in a cool way, it's like 50-50 at best.
Yeah.
And but yeah, and I just think that mastering this is the key to the matchup, and as soon as you can time them out whenever you feel like it, then it's time to start working on how you can approach. And this is another thing that I always say is that if they can't approach you ever, then the only one with an option to approach is you. So you get you get like freedom to approach. They can never approach you, and so it's like, oh, I can kind of just get comfortable and figure out exactly when I want to approach. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any final questions or thoughts or comments or anything like that?
No, not really. Nothing comes to mind quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. I think I like when these lessons are like validating a thought I had. You know, like, I feel like she's just spamming moves in center stage, and I don't know what to do against it. It's like, yes, that's exactly what she's doing, and that's what you should do about it. So
no, because she's just there like, hitbox, 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 hitbox. Has Falco approached yet? No, hitbox, hitbox. And it's like, dude, Falco has the lead.
Yeah, and being more disciplined in the Ditto, I think, is going to help a lot too. And
yeah, the Ditto, unfortunately, you have to play very like limited and like rule based. But at least it's not like this one because you just insta kill him off a hit. And thinking of the Ditto is very based on like quick 3 or 4 hit kill setups is big also.
Yeah. That's like a thing I've been struggling against. Specifically Shadow, like the player from the VOD. Mm-hmm. It's like he's really good defensively, and I let him live to 130 all the time. So it's like he just keeps living in these situations. So I'll work on that for sure.
Oh, and I also wanted to mention one more thing about Falco Peach, is that when you play that way, where you never let them hit you ever, and it's like, and I've talked to a few of the Peach mains about this when I played them, because they would all get like, oh, how would I even do against this? And they just felt like when it's been a minute and a half since they get their hit and they finally land their dash attack tech chase, they miss it so often.
Yeah,
because they're like, they've just been in like chase the Falco around mode for so long. It's so hard to instantly transition into perfect punish mode. And if they do, they're just like goated, you know? Whereas like if they're just throwing out moves and one of those moves hits, they're in a very much like punchy, like, yeah, just keep punching, you know? And so that's just like a quick thing to mention, is that it also helps it's just great when it takes them 2 minutes to hit you and they combo and they miss the last hit and now you're at 80 and they know they can't hit you for another minute and a half. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Epic.
All right, man. Good talking to you. You have the PayPal, so we'll get that worked out right after the lesson.
What was the amount?
It's $50.
$50, perfect.
Okay, all right. Great. I'll talk to you later. Let me know how this goes. And have a good one.
Yeah, peace. You too.